Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. If you're with me here, either in YouTube chat, or Discord, go ahead and say what's up. Let's see who's with us this morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We got Hari, we got Jamma, we got Trader Pixie, Rui, G-Lines, Shane, Otter, Ricky, Nick, got Mr. Kofifi, Christian, Eku. What's up, everybody? We got Sam. Good morning, everybody. So I opened up my NinjaTrader. I don't know if it's just me. Did you guys get, hey, good morning, Jim, Double G. Do you guys have your fonts all kind of, I mean, you can see my font is different up here on where it says flat entry P&L. Did anybody else get this with their NinjaTrader where the fonts are kind of jacked up here? Good morning, Discount. Or is it just me? Because my fonts are completely different than what they usually are, and they seem like they're larger now. So I don't know what happened. I haven't really seen this before. So I don't really, is nobody else experiencing the same thing here with their NinjaTrader at all? Is nobody having their fonts? Your fonts changed too? Okay. Yeah, on your dome, on your accounts. So it's not just me. You guys had a difference in your, something changed, right? On the fonts. I'm not going crazy here. Yeah, and my chart's all completely the same, but you know, where I drop down my accounts, my buttons for Chart Trader, the account list, all of that stuff is a different font size now for me. And it's more bold. Quant Tower user, okay. Any of my NinjaTrader users out there? I'm just curious. So look at this. We're pushing up against this ascending support that actually goes back quite a bit here. Goes back to that area. We are pushing back down on that ascending support. Let's see if we're going to break that down here. It's a shame because I was looking at all my fonts and everything, and I really wanted to take this puppy short, and I didn't have my account selected or anything. No NinjaTrader users in here, huh? I'm surprised by that. I am surprised by that. Maybe I'll ask later. Larger type equals the senior version. Yeah, I need it with my eyes. So Andrew, you're using NinjaTrader 8. Did you notice anything? You guys have the same, or you guys had was it the same as it was yesterday, or did you guys get new fonts or anything like that? Nothing changed on yours? Okay. All right. Well, I got to find out what happened to mine then, because mine's chunkier. I don't know what happened. So maybe it's something in my Windows or something like that. Who knows? Something's up. Maybe I needed to restart my computer or something. Okay. Well, it's just me then. How about that? Good to know. All right. Well, let's get to the trading portion of the stream. We've been dealing with the fonts. Hey, my NinjaTrader is all jacked up. It's just mine though. All right. We are kind of bouncing here off that ascending support. So what do we have for data today? We got some data coming out at 8:30 and 9:45 and 8:55. So we got the Redbook retail sales at 8:55. We have the Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity at 8:30 and the Canadian September new housing price index at 8:30 as well. At 9:45 though, we got the PMI. That's what the markets are going to be waiting for here is the 9:45 PMI. We're getting some beautiful volatility here though. Some really nice volatility. We had that big flush, big bounce here. I want to see if we get back up to 798 and a quarter. Not a lot of big reaction out of tech here. The only press release that I saw that was interesting was a report out of Nikola. Wonder how Trevor Milton's doing, by the way. If any of you folks were trading during COVID. Let's see. Nikola arbitration panel in New York. New York awarded Nikola Corporation $165 million plus interest in an arbitration proceeding with the company's founder and former executive chairman. Yeah, Trevor Milton. He was a funny character. He was one of the characters during the during that COVID trading time that was crazy. Nicola. Yeah. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, we're pushing back up to 798 here, 798 and a quarter. Let's see if we have anything in the way of trades. I should have taken a bounce off of that ascending support that we had right there. We don't have any releases for the next 22 minutes, but in 22 minutes, we do have, it could kind of affect today. It's the Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity. Could inject some volatility into the market, but sometimes we'll see on a day like today where we have PMI coming out right at 945. We'll generally have the market kind of waiting for that stuff. And if today's session is with volatility before that time, we should potentially be able to get some nice trades off here. Yesterday was a really interesting day in the markets here. Let's pull up a 1 hour. So yesterday was really interesting here. We had a nice sweep low here down to our level of 518 and a quarter, and then we bursted up through around to 850 here. This is a 300-point day here. If anybody caught that, I'm curious though, because there were so many people that were short this market and kept on shorting it on the way up. I caught a little scalp here. It was like a short from that area to that area, 98 to 78. I caught it from like 98 to 60, somewhere in that area. Yeah, that was the candle right there that I traded. But did anybody in here catch that ripper to the top side there? That there's 300 handles of alpha, so I'm assuming that somebody caught a little piece of that. 4 for 5 yesterday. That's nice. That's awesome. What indicators am I using on my chart? These are just drawings that I have. I don't really have any indicators here on the chart. If we're looking at my NinjaTrader, however, I do have the hourly high and hourly low. That's what I use primarily there. But I'm not a big indicators guy. VWAP, EMA, that's pretty much it. Started from 806 to 742 in the London session. Nice. Shorted, rather. Very nice there, Otter. Good job. Love to see that. So I wonder if we're just going to chop around here until we get this data print out. The zones I set were working beautifully. Volume and supply and demand, that is all I have. Yeah, that's great. I like that too. The less indicators that you have on your chart, the better. The less noise that there is on your chart, the better, in my opinion. So we are pushing back down to this ascending support here. Today should have more volume today than yesterday, rather. So I'm definitely interested in being more active today, even though yesterday's trade was a phenomenal move to the top side there. I just wasn't expecting all that much. I actually made the good majority of my profits yesterday trading puts. I was trading the SPY. And I traded puts on that on the open. Caught a nice little sweep to the downside on that initial downside move. But just because I expected, there not to be a big squeeze like we saw yesterday, I was just pretty much hands off and then took a nice little scalp there in the NQ. I had a pretty uneventful day, but I know that there's folks out there that caught that huge move there to the top side. So there was definitely a lot of alpha to be had yesterday. Those are usually the best days. And if you're going into the market every single day expecting you're just going to make $100,000 in a day and you're going to crush it or whatever you're trying to make, right? Let's just say your regular profit goal is $100. You wake up every morning, you say, I'm going to make $10,000 today. You go into this cycle of disappointment. It depends on what time you started trading too. I know this from a lot of folks who started trading during the COVID time. They really can't let go of the fact that we're not in that COVID market anymore. It's a lot of these small cap traders out there. They're still kind of fixated in this COVID market mindset where they think that, there's going to be 20, 30 tickers that are going off making 200, 300% in the morning, and then they're going to be able to short that stuff. It just doesn't exist. And they're kind of holding out like this market's going to come back tomorrow or something like that. It's not coming back for a very long time. Hate to break it to those traders, but But anyway, it's about tempering your expectations. So on a day like yesterday, that was a very pleasant surprise when you have, my expectations were that we're going to have a very boring day yesterday. And when you have those expectations and you manage your expectations, you keep them rather low, then it's a heck of a lot better than going into the day thinking that every single day is going to be fireworks and this insane day. And it's a lot easier to have better days that way when you're not expecting a whole bunch and being pleasantly surprised. Obviously, you want to keep the pressure on yourself to perform, but you certainly don't want to go into every single day thinking that you're going to pull $1 million out of the market. You may, you just may, but it's pretty unlikely. It seems like much more tradable opportunities in futures now versus small caps, or is that just my imagination? It is not your imagination. Futures are a beautiful instrument to trade. It's a heck of a lot better that I've noticed this too. These small cap traders who, they have a lot more self-respect for themselves. They're moving over into futures from small caps because they're tired of sitting there all day trying to squeeze water out of a rock after sitting there, staring at their screens for 8 hours, praying that a stock will drop 10 cents for them. And then in the last 5 minutes, it rips up in their face and they lose all their profit and they're sitting there scratching their heads saying, wow, what am I doing? Well, I guess tomorrow that COVID market's going to come back. That's generally the cycle that these lost small cap traders are in right now. How are futures during the small cap COVID heyday? I didn't pay attention. They were great. I mean, you'd have 300 handle moves all the time. It's a great, it's a very nice market. And if you know how to read the market, market structure, the auction theory, if you focus and you study on it and you spend a lot of time versus, you say, I have an Excel spreadsheet and these are my gappers and I'm going to make 10 cents today. Instead of doing that and wasting 8 hours a day staring at charts, praying to the market gods that you're going to get your whole 10 cents, why not trade a nice liquid market that has a lot of volatility? And that's what futures are. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of lost traders out there that are either going to get knocked out of the game because they're wasting their time with nonsense, or they're gonna learn. They're eventually gonna learn. I would have loved to caught that Carvana when it was at 2 to, yeah. I caught some, I caught ATXG from like 40 to 900. There's a time and a place to hit small caps, but it's just not that time. You see that these rock star small cap traders are now posting, very small days and getting run over, and it's just, it's a market full of manipulation. There's manipulation in all markets, but it's just a huge waste of time. And people will come to realize that whether it takes them 2 months from now or 2 years from now, they're going to look back and say, geez, I was wasting so much of my time hoping and praying that this COVID market was going to come back. And it's a fool's errand. It's silly. It's just silly. It's just a lack of self-respect for yourself as a trader. It's really sad to see it. Sad to see it because there's some bright minds out there that are continually wasting their time thinking that market's going to return. It's kind of like it's like a gambling addict. They're losing and losing and losing, and then they get that one win, and then they're back in the game, and they think, this is why I didn't leave this terrible market, because they get this one little win, and they think it makes up for the 2 weeks of doing nothing and suffering in that market. So it's an interesting cycle that these folks are in, but this is why that's how they keep you playing. Exactly. That's the whole thing. It's ridiculous. It's like, anyway, I'm done ranting about it. This is why we trade futures every morning. There's so many opportunities, and especially with companies like Top Step, you don't even have to risk your own capital, and you can learn how to trade in the process. There's a lot more small cap trading rooms than people compared to the amount of futures, so it gave me the impression like that's the way to go. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is you have these small cap trading rooms out there, and they're all piling into the same play, and there's a finite amount of liquidity. I mean, when you're trading on Top Step, first of all, you're trading in a simulated market, right? So your orders aren't hitting the market until you're getting pushed up to a live account, and so there's an infinite amount of liquidity for you. You want to fill. Everybody's trying to fill 15 lots on the bid. If we're all trading in a simulated market, we're all going to get filled. But if you're in a small cap trading room, and the stuff that goes on there, I mean, I can go on and on about it, but the leaders of these small cap rooms, they're going to take a position. They're going to give it to you 5 minutes later after they have their position all set and ready. And then they're going to try to get you to do something, which is totally illegal to be doing in the first place. They're going to say, oh, okay, well, let's all pile in short into this thing. And then they're going to use you as exit liquidity. And it's just a terrible, shady thing. There's not enough liquidity in these small cap stocks for everybody in these rooms to be hitting them and tagging them. And people call it like edge depreciation and all of this nonsense. It's like, no, it's just, I mean, if you understand auction theory, you understand how markets function, you can take a look at this for an hour and say, this is not a good idea for me to be spending my time in this realm. But that's a problem. There's a lot of people in that space that they're just inherently lazy people because they were taught that sort of like Pavlovian, like Pavlov's dog, you know, they were taught that, oh, I just wake up at 9:15. I don't really need to do any charts or studies. I have this Excel spreadsheet that, oh, this is my edge here. I got this Excel spreadsheet with some things and I don't really pay attention to it. But the stock goes up and I press the short button and then I make money. And that stopped working for a while. And then they're sitting there scratching their heads and they're saying, where's my edge? Well, you never had edge in the first place. The fact that your edge was, there was 30 tickers going straight up and now you're shorting all 30 of those tickers. Of course, you're going to get some of them to go down. The reason why is because you can't have all 30 of those tickers being supported throughout the day because people like me were the ones who were buying those tickers and catching them to the top side and then shorting them and catching them to the bottom side. So yeah, it's a funny thing that people are still wasting their time in those markets. No PDT with futures margins if you want to start with a small amount of capital. Exactly. And if you don't want to risk your own capital, you use a company like TopStep. All right, we are pushing up here. We got 10 minutes now until the print here. 10 minutes until the print. But yeah, I made a boatload of money trading small caps when the time was right. I just stopped trading them when the opportunity dissipated because it's just a huge, enormous waste of time. And there's just not much to learn there. And if you know the people who are running these books, I mean, you would stay so far away. And I knew there's a couple of my neighbors who were working for running the books for these companies. And it's just very, very shady. Good morning, Caesar. Very, very shady what they're doing. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the people who are trading these things, they have no idea about any of this stuff. And why should they? I mean, they don't really care to pay attention to research things. And, you know, they'll claim that they read their filings or whatever their nonsense is to keep them in the game. You think you'll ever bother with small caps again? I'll trade any market if there's opportunity. Absolutely. I'll trade any market if there's opportunity. But the problem is that it's not a good opportunity. It's a huge, enormous waste of time. You have to understand, you need to learn how to value your time. And if you're going to spend 8 hours trying to squeeze 10 cents out of something, I mean, sheesh, you could be trading SPY contracts and get a heck of a lot more than 10 cents out of it if you're spending an hour of time. I mean, there's so many other markets that you could trade to produce the amount of alpha that would take you 8 times the amount of hours that it takes in small caps to produce that little amount of alpha. And then there's outlier alpha that you can get. If you're looking for outlier alpha, which, you know, that's a common point of argument in this discussion about wasting time trading small caps is that, oh, well, you have these huge outliers where they go way, way up and then they go way down. Well, so does SPX options. You can trade SPX options and get that same sort of outlier that you'd be looking for in small caps. But I just think, and this is somebody who had a lot of success doing it, it's a phenomenal waste of time, completely, especially now. And it will eventually cycle back to where there is a great amount of opportunity doing it. You know, it's like, look at NFTs. Are NFTs a good thing to be trading anymore? Of course not. It's a waste of time. There's markets that ebb and flow. All markets are good. Hey, would it be a good idea to go be trading Beanie Babies right now? Of course not. There's certain markets that get hot and then they're no longer hot. And there's you only have so many hours in a day, so it comes down to respecting yourself as a trader. If you don't have any respect for yourself, by all means, go ahead and waste your time trading small caps. But if you actually have respect for yourself, you're going to learn, you're going to take this time away from that, if that's what you're seasoned into doing, and then take some time learning about auction theory, market profile, learning about market structure, learning about things that you can build on as a trader if you're serious about this as a career. Or fire up an Excel spreadsheet and waste 8 hours a day, every single day, hoping and praying to the market gods that the thing you're shorting is going to go back down. And then just pray that in those last 5 minutes that the person who's running the book isn't going to scam you at the end of the day. Gee, I mean, it's a tough pick. It's a really tough pick on which one you want to choose, but you guys know where I stand on that. We got treasury yields that are going up here. Interesting. Andrew just got long pre-data. Good luck to you. Make sure you have a stop in place there. Speaking of, I got to set my ATM strategy here. Long at 800. Good luck. Good luck. Looking good. Looking like it wants to perk up here. I'm going to wait for that data print to see if we get anything off of that there. So we have been holding this ascending support here. We are pushing up. This is this level right here that I drew earlier before I came on stream is just kind of this topping area that we've had. And so if we are breaking above that level, I do think that we can start to auction up towards 837 and 871 here. So we'll have to see what happens on this print here, which is due out in less than 5 minutes. What are we expecting for PMI? I haven't looked at the numbers yet for the preview. Let's see if I have a preview here. Nothing yet. I'm looking. Preview will probably be out. Yeah, just got the UK PMI. But yeah, that should be out. That's not that print's not going to be out until 9:45. So the previews should be coming out a little bit later than that. Or a little bit earlier than that, rather. A little bit later from now. So let's see here. Make sure I have everything set up on my end. It's weird because when I first opened NinjaTrader here, that it was all jacked up. It's like the one time that I didn't restart my computer overnight that I have everything all wonky here. Hopefully all of my trades go off without a hitch this morning here. Hopefully everything's okay. All right, we got 3.5 minutes here until the print. This is going to be the Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity. Then we have the Red Book retail sales after that at 8:55. I don't know that that will ever... I mean, the Red Book retail sales have not been moving the market at all. We are just kind of chopping around here between 98 and 812. 798 and 812. Andrew is out, 7 points of profit. Nice work there, Andrew. Way to go. Love to see that. Just watching to see if there's any clues here on the tape pre-print. Stretching it out. Not a lot of activity going across the board here. Pre-print. Kind of a slow and relaxed Tuesday here after yesterday's wild move. I think we will have a nice bit of reaction here off this print. It'd be really nice to break out of this range, the range that we've been chopping around in here. Talking about this one right here. If we're able to get out of that range, it'd be really, really nice. That's what I'll be looking for here. as far as taking a trade here. 90 seconds here till the print. 90 seconds. Trader Mark caught a bit of the alpha off that bottom. Nice work there. He's up. Was that $1,000? Very nice. Nice work there, Trader Mark. Killer move there. All right, less than a minute here till the print. If you are going to trade this print, good luck to you. Seeing the order book kind of clearing out a little bit here, but not much. $20 seconds till the print now. 20 seconds. Waiting for this print still. It's late. Negative 20.3 versus a negative 16.6 prior. Waiting on the new orders number. Small perk up here. See if they sweep up towards this 808.5 area, the hourly high. Low volume. Not a big reaction at all. Anybody taking this print here? Nothing happening on it. Negative 20.3 versus a negative 16.6 prior. New orders at negative 16.1 versus negative 9.2 prior. It keeps on wanting to test this 800 level. Let's see what happens here. Trying to be patient and see if there's kind of a delayed reaction, but it's not looking like it. Looking like it's, yeah, dude posted here. Basically nothing. Exactly. Yeah, there's no volume at all. I mean, that's a disappointing print right there. I guess the whole market's just waiting for PMI at 945. Certainly not going to move on Redbook retail sales. Total nothing burger here. So testing 800 here. That's what it's going for. 800 test. Even tick chart is moving in slow motion. Yeah, I'm surprised there. And it wasn't like an inline print either. Maybe it was in line with estimates. Let's see here. I don't even think we had estimates on it. That's how little the market cared about the Philly Fed non-manufacturing. Yeah, this is just very much in slow motion here. Total nothing burger. We're sweeping right now in basically a 5-handle range here. Little bit of volume's coming in now. Let's see if there's a reaction here. Very much a delayed reaction. Print is 3.5 minutes old here. Looking across at all the components here of the NQ, nothing really moving there. No volume coming through. So after the bell today, do keep in mind, let's see the ES here. Yeah, a little bit. After the bell today, we have earnings out from Microsoft and Alphabet, Google. So that should be exciting. We also have Snapchat and Visa. That should be exciting today. And I think that we will see some liquidity going into Microsoft today, as well as Google. Those are both included on the morning memo today. For you folks that are in Clubhouse, talking about the levels that we're watching there for Microsoft and Google today. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not we have confluence in those two prints, the ones that I'm going to be watching at least. The ones that are important to me are going to be Microsoft and Alphabet because they carry so much weight in both the NQ and the ES, the S&P and the NASDAQ 100. They carry so much weight in that. And it'll be very interesting to see if there's confluence in those prints where Google up, Microsoft up, or Microsoft down, Google down. And if we see that, it's going to set us up for a very nice trade in the NQ or even in the S&P E-mini. And if you folks are trading your own money, not one of the funding companies, you could definitely be trading that after hours print in the NQ, because remember, the NQ doesn't close until 5 p.m. Reopens at 6. It's the hour break that it takes on the daily. And the print should be coming out sometime between 4 and 4:30 for both of those, for Google and Microsoft. Did you ever trade straddle strangles into earnings prints? You know, I've done a lot. Yeah, I've done straddles and strangles, but I mean, I would do single leg strategies, calls and puts. Sometimes it worked. During the COVID market, there was times when that was very profitable. Apple was one of them that I absolutely killed it. I think it was that time when they were splitting. I think they traded like up towards 400 on one of their earnings prints. I can't recall now, but something like that. And I was long and strong into some calls, and they were hugely profitable. It was an amazing trade. But then, you know, you have, gosh, I'm thinking back to single leg strategies in options. When I was trading, I remember a terrible one was like Activision. And Activision, I was long and strong in calls. And like very, very, I mean, the notional value of this position was like, I want to say about $150,000, something like that. It was a different market back then, so you could be a little bit more ridiculous, because even if you lose the full notional value of those contracts, which is pretty likely, right? Even if you lost a big chunk of that, you could go make it back in the market the next day. There was endless amounts of opportunity in the market. It was so active, so volatile. There's always some ridiculous move that you could count on that would be there the next day, so you could be a little bit more loose with your risk. Yeah. And so when I traded Activision, I just remember very distinctly, because it was a pretty big, decent sized position in it. And Benzinga broke the report early of their earnings, and it was completely wrong. And the market reacted to it negatively, even though it was the wrong print. And then they came back and they did a correction. And on the correction, the market didn't move at all. The dust had already settled. And it was completely the wrong earnings report. They reported it. Well, here we go. A little flush here. Let's see. We broke through 800. I want to see if we're going to run down into this ascending support now. Watching here, we are getting some volume coming through. So definitely sweeping below those sell stops below 800 to start here. I want to see if we're garnering some strength. So just watching here. NVIDIA is showing some weakness. It's pushing up against the EMA. Microsoft showing some weakness as well. I'll take a little bit of a flyer here. And I want to risk a touch above 800, because if this thing's going to bounce, it's going to bounce right through 800, and I just want to get stopped out. But I want to see if we get this persistent weakness through NVIDIA. If NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla are all kind of remaining weak here, we aren't reclaiming 800, kind of want to stick into this one and aim for 78 to the downside here. Nicola at $1.08 here. It's pumping for you guys who are trading small caps. We're at the upper end of this range here. Still showing some weakness. I want to add into that there. Targeting 78 or just a touch above 78 or so. I want to see weakness persist in the high 80s here. Yeah, we are seeing weakness from Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple here. Let's see if we can bust through the 90 area. It's a very strong level that we have there, Sam, on NQ right here. 78 and a quarter. Very strong level. So watching here for a potential add. I want to see weakness below 98 and a quarter. Microsoft, Nvidia still on a weak print here. Volume is drying up a little bit too. So watching this bounce here. I want to see weakness below 98 and a quarter, but right now it's pumping up here. Might just get stopped out. And stopped out. Taking a $583 loss there. But let's see. Stop might have been too tight. We're still seeing weakness on Microsoft and Nvidia here. See if we can go back for a second round here. So we're pushing down towards that ascending support. Let's see here. Yeah, it's going back down. Gonna tag that one more time. I want to keep my stop a little bit higher this time. I was thinking my stop might have been a little bit too tight there. I'm going to bring it up to right around 807.5 there. So trying a second short here. Again, looking for that weakness below 98 and a quarter. That's where I want to be aggressive with this. Watching here. It's pushing up pretty strong here. See if we get stopped out again. Actually, let's see. Move that right about there. Top of those wicks. Can add into this up here. If we're showing that weakness into this push, I am seeing some topping orders up here. Might have to get a little bit scalpy. I'm seeing Nvidia kind of holding up the EMA here. I'm going to add into that. Let's see if we break 800 here to the downside now. Terrible fill. God-awful fill. Watching for this 800 break here. Adding into that 800 break. Looking for weakness below 98 and a quarter now. A little bit of follow through. There are some bidders there at 800. Just have to muscle through those guys. There we go. There's that 800 pull. Now let's see if we can remain weak below 98 and a quarter here. This is where we garnered some bid support. So this would be the second test at this here. Targeting mid to low 80s here. If Nvidia showed some weakness here and cracked below this 436 area, it'd be very strong for us here. Showing some liquidity above 800 here. See if they want to swipe this first before we make a leg lower here. Still some decent sell side pressure here below 98.25. See if we can tag into the low 90s here. There are some bidders showing up around 95 here. Still kind of weak, but I am seeing some buy side liquidity showing up at around 93, 92 here. So I have to be a little bit cautious. See if they're going to go sweep this liquidity up at 800 first. Still weak though. What is the stronger supply demand level in Bookmap? The red bar. That is the darker the bars, the more liquidity there is resting at that level. So I'm looking for this to seek that liquidity down at 90 first. That's what I'm originally looking for here. A little bit chunky down here at 93. I'm going to try to take half off. There we go. Half off there. Watching for this 90 pull. Kind of stalling at 90 here. Putting an order for 2 on the bid here. Kind of stalling here at 92, 93 again, which I don't really like. Move up my order here. Might have to chase this thing. Sort of a double bottom there at 90. Yeah, got to take 2 out. I'm just going to close it right there. Had to sort of chase that thing. Would have liked to get that pull down through 90, but I had to chase that thing up. I tried to cover 2 more down there, but didn't end up getting filled. So that puts us back at, where are we here? $50 down on the day there. So 1 win, 1 loss. But yeah, it's very scant liquidity here. Very choppy, and that's why I was looking to cover into that 90 pull down there and ended up having to chase the final contracts there on that position. But yeah, it's very just, choppy, low liquidity. It's a tougher market to trade when you have a low liquid market like this. But you got to make do with what we have, right? You have to trade the market in front of you. Ricky says, good recovery, though. Yeah, decent recovery. I would have liked to have that nice pull through 90. That really nice, solid pull there through 90 would have been really nice. But with the way that they're firming up those bids there, right at 90, and then they started sending it up right through 90, 93. I still do think the market is weak here below 98.25. But the problem is that we're just not having a lot of big activity that's coming through here. Not a lot of big activity. If you are enjoying the stream, however, even if we're not having a banger day, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And hit that subscribe button. Make sure you are subscribed with your notifications turned on. How do you deal with your emotion? It's just been doing this for a long time. It's the excitement wears off after you've been doing it for so many years. So it's you got to just learn to understand that you're going to have so many trades in your trading career. And the more you're tamping down your emotions, the less emotional that you are in your trades, the better that you're going to perform. The cooler that your head is, the better you're going to be able to see and read the market. Trying to not trade your P&L as much as possible. There's a chunky seller. I would have loved to see that guy earlier on that first extension on the way down there. So we are going to likely run into this ascending support again. Yeah, there's that flush. That's the flush I was looking for on the original trade there, but it got so thin to the sell side when we were down there at the 90 originally. And you can see the size of these bubbles right here on Bookmap. Switch it over to full screen here. You can see on these bubbles right here, that just basically means that we have some big buyers that are stepping in on the bid side there. How much buffer do you have to be able to take 8 contracts in a trade? We have a daily drawdown of $3,000 there. A daily drawdown limit of $3,000. But we're managing our risk in that trade. You know, you could see how fast I was covering there. We're pushing right up against this ascending support here. It's like being married. The longer, the more patient you get. Amen. It's so true. Very, very true. Yeah, this is the push I would have liked to see if we had our contracts on still. But like I said, you have to play the market in front of you. And when we're pushing down to that area and then it goes completely devoid of the sell side here, and we got that big old whip from 90 straight up to 90, back up to 800 essentially, 10-handle whip. You have to be, on your toes in that position. And again, it's about recognizing the amount of liquidity that is currently offered in this market right now, understanding that it's a low liquid environment, and just the experience of going through this over and over again. Nice work there, Kofifi. Putting up big numbers again. Kofifi's been killing it in here. Yesterday, I think he had over a $15,000 day in here in Clubhouse. Just destroying it. So we are pushing right up against that ascending support. We got 4 minutes now until the Red Book retail sales. 4 minutes. Let's see if that moves the market at all. Yeah, uneventful Tuesday. But good news is that PMI is going to be about at 945. That's going to be very exciting for us to trade. We're going to trade that in Clubhouse. And then on Wednesday, tomorrow, we have the new home sales out at 10. That's going to be also a lot of fun to trade. Thursday, however, that's going to be our big day. That's the one you're going to want to make sure you show up for. There's 70 of you folks in here. We only got 36 likes. You guys got to do better than that. We can get up to 40 likes, right? For this stream today. Just go ahead and smash that like button there. See if we can get up to 40. Yeah, market still looks weak. Wow, look at that. Kofifi up $10,000 to start his morning. And up $620 on his express funded accounts. Very nice. There we go. We got over 40. That's what I'm talking about. Nice job. We did it. Yeah, and we're almost at 1,000 subs, believe it or not. We've been doing the stream now for about 3 weeks, I want to say. Maybe this is the 4th week. And you guys have been killing it. You guys have been, our goal, I remember when we were talking about, okay, let's try for 500. Let's go for 600. And then last week, you guys smashed right through 900. And now we're so close to hitting 1,000 subs. And that's just so insane. For the amount of time that we've been doing this, it's been such a short amount of time. And for you guys to come out and win the fire drill. Yeah, hopefully there's a fire drill today. But yeah, you guys have been so supportive and so awesome. And even on days where it's like today where we don't have amazing amounts of liquidity to trade, we still try to put on trades. Sometimes we make a lot of money. Sometimes we have a little bit of a scratch day down $50 here. Wow, look at that. Mr. Kofifi there. It looks like he's up, what is that, 40 grand there overall? Something like that? Close to it? That's going to be a nice, massive payout you're going to be taking there. Amazing. Oh, that's so exciting. Give it up for Mr. Kofifi here. in Clubhouse. Going to be taking a $40,000 paint out here soon enough. By the way, folks, if you like also what you're enjoying here in the stream, you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. @SellingRips is the handle right there, @SellingRips. If you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I'm active on both those platforms. I'm trying to grow the following also on Instagram over there. And that's more of a behind the scenes look at my day to day. And the more activity that I have on there, the more that I'm going to be posting and sort of day in the life stuff. Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah, there you go. Up $41,000 on his accounts there. Beautiful job. Am I planning on doing the opening live this week? I'm thinking Thursday, because that's going to have a pretty good session for us for trading in the pre-market here. And then I think we'll just run it right into the open there. All right, Redbook retail sales out in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Here we go. Get ready. Get ready for nothing. Get ready for no volatility whatsoever. Anything? Here we go. Up 5% year over year. Or is that month to date? Hold on. Listening. Yeah, 5% over year. Wow. And month to date plus 4.5%. Interesting. So market initially reacting there to the top side. And unfortunately, I just don't think I'm going to be able to take a trade on this. Not even a little baby scalp here. So I think that's how we're going to be finishing up the stream here today. I don't think that I'm going to be taking any more trades. Finishing up our stream with a small loss here, $50.76. We had two trades, one loser to start, and then we had a recovery trade there on our winner. Very scant liquidity. And if I could go back and change anything about the way I traded, I don't think that I would change anything. I think that we had the right idea. If anything, maybe having a little bit more of a room on the stop, but I wanted to have an initial tight stop on that trade in case we had a huge whip up. So overall, I think that this is one thing that I always think that you should be doing as a trader. Always evaluate yourself and grade yourself on your trades and be paying attention to that in your journal. Always be journaling, ABJ. always be journaling so that you can be reflective on your actions during your trades during your day. And it's good to journal when you're fresh, when you have those trades fresh in your mind. And evaluate yourself and ask yourself, how did you perform on that trade? Rate yourself from 1 to 100. That's usually a nice, huge scale that you can go through there. Rate yourself from 1 to 100 and be honest with yourself. Would you change anything about the trade? Would you change your entries, your exits with the gift of hindsight that you have now? And you can, use it a little bit to cheat on that end. And with the gift of hindsight, you can kind of look at it and say, well, maybe I could have changed this and changed that. In the case of what I traded here, I don't think I would have traded anything different. I was trading the price action in front of me. I think I had a pretty good read on it, and we extracted as much alpha as I could with the size that I was willing to trade on that. All right, so we're wrapping it up here, folks. On your way out, if you don't mind, go ahead and make sure you drop a like on the video, and please make sure that you are subscribed with the notifications turned on so that when I do go live here, maybe I'll have a surprise stream in the middle of the day. If you have those notifications turned on, you'll get a ping notification either to your browser or to your phone, and it'll let you know that I've gone live, and you can come and hang out in the stream, and maybe we'll have some alpha to trade together. But other than that, I'm locking it up here. Down $50 on our Tuesday stream here. I will continue streaming Bookmap throughout the day as I always do. It's going to look like that, full screen. And if that's something that you're interested in and you want to hang out and keep that in a side screen, by all means, I'll be streaming that throughout the day for you folks. If you guys are going to continue to trade today, make sure you are trading with discipline and sticking to your trade plan. Make sure you are using stops and just respect yourself as a trader. And every single day is an opportunity to grow a little bit more than you did the day before. So good luck today out there, and I will see everybody on YouTube here at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Good morning, and happy Tuesday, everybody. We got a very quick one today outside of the morning memo, which, of course, I'm going to post that right now so we get early access to this morning memo. It's chock full of goodness today. It's a big one. All right, hold on. There's half of it. Then you get the other half. Wow, look at that beautiful flush there in the NQ. Holy smokes. Anybody in the NQ short there? That's a beautiful, beautiful fail there to the downside. I think it was Discount was saying that the market looked weak there. So maybe Discount was in that one. All right, getting the rest of the memo here posted. It's earnings week. That's why we got the big old memo this week. There we go. Let's see here. All right, Discount. Nice work there. Beautiful, beautiful job. All righty, so let's talk about what happened yesterday in the market. So on Monday, the stock market experienced a volatile session, ending with mixed results due to a surge instigated by Mr. Bill Ackman, which we talked about yesterday on the stream, which later tapered off towards the end of trading. The bond market saw a significant shift to a bull flattening trend, overturning the initial bear steepening that pushed the cash 10-year yield beyond 5%. For the first time in this cycle. This change was triggered by Bill Ackman's announcement of exiting his short position on U.S. bonds, which he shared on Twitter. This revelation fueled a notable rally in both the stocks and the